The idea of bringing a magic kit through TSA for some reason is just so funny to me. Like, just like, oh, what's behind this? It's like, I don't know. Like, what's up my sleeve?
Like a pigeon flies out.
Like you get selected for private screening and just give them a private
pull
magic
the
show.
scarves out. Amazing.
Hello, and welcome to Spooky Sips, where we put our love of horror movies into a podcast and sip some spirits along the way. I'm one of your hosts, Yvette, here with my co-hosts, Laura and Brianna.
Hello.
Hey. All right, we just got finished watching The Black Phone, and we're talking about the original from 2021. I think the new one is coming out.
Soon.
I don't know.
I think very soon.
I think it's very soon. I almost want to say the 17th. And if you're listening to this when it's coming out, we're at the 14th. So I think this weekend is when the new one comes out. So you should be watching the original so that you can get ready for the new one to drop. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't seen it, it takes place in the 70s. I'm not sure that it says exactly when.
78, North Denver.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But you have that very nostalgic sepia vibe.
Yes.
The lighting, the clothing, the hair, it's all very 70s. Mm-hmm. And our main character is a 13-year-old boy, Finney. And his sister, his younger sister. Oh, and there is a killer on the loose, the grabber. The grabber.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the movie is about.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, like it starts out, it's just so idyllic.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You see like the very 70s, like the kids with their, like they're playing baseball. I mean, sure, you see the dad cracking a beer at their baseball game, but then like the kids are just playing baseball and they're riding their little bicycles and it's very like idyllic suburbia.
Oh, the first like 3-5 minutes of this movie where we get just the baseball game and then the kid running on his bike, like it's like a happy movie. Like the first, they give us like just a tiny bit of happiness and then they immediately take it away.
Yes.
Quick cut.
Yep.
To a very dark intro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It reminded me of like American Horror Story a bit. Like cutting through and like just like a bunch of like spooky things. Like it reminded me a lot of American Horror Story and like the intros.
Agreed. Yeah. And that happens after because we see the little baseball game and this one the pitcher, right? His name is Bruce. Like he's leaving the baseball game and it's again still very, very happy, but then this van pulls behind him and then we get that really dark intro. And like, you're like, oh shoot, this is not a happy life anymore. Yeah.
You get the dark intro and then we meet like the family that we kind of follow, like the dad and the two kids. And like, again, just immediate, like the image gets darker. Like I swear the whole movie gets visibly darker.
No, because actually like I almost for a minute was like, oh, is there something wrong with my TV? Because like it really, for a few minutes, like, it's so dark that I was like, oh my God, did my TV, like, is something happening? But no, it's supposed to be that way. So.
Yeah. No, so we get like 3 minutes of happiness and then that's it. It's over.
I actually really love that because like the thing is when you go into a movie and you almost always know what you're going into. Like, okay, I'm going to go watch a horror movie. I'm going to go watch a scary movie. So when it starts so like sunny and happy, you're like, oh, I almost always am like, oh shit. Like the happier it starts, I'm like, oh, here we go. If it starts very good, I'm like, we are in for it.
Yep.
No, seriously.
So yes.
Yep.
Okay. Now, had either of you watched this movie before? Because it came out in like 2021. I think it's been out for a few years.
Okay. So here's a funny story. Yes.
Oh.
Yes, we have watched it before. We both kind of forgot. And then
we're millennials, okay? Laura's an elder millennial.
Yeah.
So well, I'm not wrong.
Rude.
I mean, she
don't use the word elder when you're describing me.
Not wrong.
So anyway, we watched it. And I believe we watched it together.
Yeah, probably.
And
absolutely.
As I'm watching it to prepare for this episode, I sent Brianna multiple messages. I was like, I think we've seen this movie. And then I was like, and as it kept going on, I was like, yeah, we definitely watched this movie, like maybe like right when it first came out. And now I remember everything about this movie. I can't believe we forgot I've seen it.
See, I had a different experience because whilst I knew I had seen it, I was like, I could not tell you what happens. So, I know I've seen it. I could not for the life of me tell you how it ends. So for me, it was still fun to watch because I didn't know what was going on. So
like watching it for the first time.
Exactly. So yes, we have seen it, but for me, it basically was the first time again.
Oh my God.
How about you? Had you seen it?
No, I feel like I'd heard about it, like seen so many things about it, but somehow just like never got to it. So
you might have heard about it from us.
Yeah, probably.
I do sometimes feel like movies that are in the, 2021 year, like I feel like a lot of those, I think, got lost in the post-pandemic shuffle. Because I feel like a lot of times in those years, like I'm like, I never even really heard of this movie. Like, so I wonder if it didn't get as much hype because it was just a weird time in the world.
There was so much going on.
You know what I mean? Like there was a lot happening. So
much going on.
Yeah.
But then we meet the little family. Finn and Gwen and their alcoholic dad.
Yeah.
And Finn and Gwen.
Who looks exactly like Charles Manson.
Oh.
Who I love because I was like, oh my God, this motherfucker is Charles Manson. And I was like, right. Did either of you think that?
I didn't.
Mean, now that
you said it. Yeah.
But then I was so sure of it that I was like looking it up because I was like, is he actually Charles Manson? I know he wasn't, but he was in Helter Skelter as Charles Manson. So I was like, all right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So he did play Charles Manson
good eye.
in the past. So yeah.
But
right away you can tell the family dynamic is just not great. It's rough.
Well, because Gwenny is going to go have a sleepover at her friend's house, and she's like, "Okay, it's your turn tonight."
Yeah,
and he's like, "Yeah, I know." And we get the understanding that like you have to watch Dad because he's going to get shit faced, and like you have to keep an eye on things. Yeah. And it's like, oh man, that's a lot for a little kid.
And because I'm always on a lookout for what drink we should have for our episode, one of the things I noticed, so initially the dad like cracks a beer, which is a Coors at their game.
That's like the very first scene.
That's like the very first
right?
Scene.
It's just crack open a beer.
But then from then on, he's drinking Penzberg beer. And like these glass bottles of Penzberg beer. Do either of you know about Penzberg beer?
No, I've never heard of that before.
Well, there's a reason why, because it's not real, but it is in a lot of movies. So I was just looking up Penzberg beer to be like, oh, does this exist? Can we pair this episode with Penzberg beer? But no, it's but it's in many movies as like a way to have a beer, but that it's not like you're endorsing a beer company.
Oh, so it's a prop.
See. So you don't have to pay for it. Like you don't have to pay Coors for.
Like I of course closed out the list, so I don't have it right now. But like if you like just kind of Google the Penzberg beer, you can see there's a ton of movies
that makes sense.
Makes an appearance in because it's just this fake beer.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so we can't pair it with that.
Yeah,
yeah. No, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, you would think like beer companies would want to be in it. I don't know, right? Like it gets your name out there, but I guess they got the Coors for one shot.
It's probably risky because like who knows if the movie will do well, and like big companies don't need the advertisement, so like they probably would demand the movie company would have to pay, and I bet it's like wildly expensive to feature Heineken in a movie,
for sure.
So it makes sense.
And I also I understand that this movie is, I'm guessing it's rated R.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's very scary. It's very dark. There's a lot that's wrong with this movie. There's murder. There's, violence. But also I kind of feel like this movie is a little bit designed for a younger audience, like for kids, like to scare like teenagers or whatever. And do you really want to market a beer to that crowd? Probably not.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
So we've got the understanding that like everyone is on edge
Yeah.
Mhm.
All these boys are being kidnapped. We even see a little scene where, like, you know, Finney is nervous to say the grabber because, you know, you're not supposed to say his name because that means he'll get you.
Yes.
So, like, all the kids are nervous. Even all the parents are nervous. So, like, we have the understanding that everyone is afraid of the grabber. But also, there's not, nobody knows what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Except Gwen gets called in. She's in class and she gets called into the principal's office. And that's because she had a dream. And she told her friend about it. And her friend then went and told her teacher, who told the principal, yada, yada, who called the police. Because Gwen had a dream about some black balloons in a car. And
that was like info they hadn't released to the public, but was part of the case.
Right. Yeah. So the cops, and it's so funny because there's good cop, bad cop. And the one would just be like, hey, sweetie, just tell us what happened. And the other one's like, tell us what happened.
Yep.
And
I love Gwen. She's like,
she's amazing.
What, you think I'm the grabber?
Yeah. No, I mean, you think I did it?
Like, you think I did it? And then she calls them fart knockers.
Yes, she calls them dumb fucking fart knockers. Which we used to use that term, fart knockers.
In our household, fart knockers was because we didn't swear in our house, like, when we were growing up. So fart knockers was like the insults.
That's what, like,
oh
what
my
you
God,
would say
that's
sometimes.
incredible.
But you know what's so funny is because I thought this as a kid and I'm thinking it now and I'm, you know, admitting that I didn't just look it up. I never understood what it meant. Like, what is it? What's a fart knocker?
What does that mean?
I don't know. We said
farts.
it, but I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, the world will never know. No one look it up.
No.
Yeah. And so she is just, you know, being combative, but
yeah.
She was incredible.
She was amazing. She's like, what, you think I'm it? Like,
right. And meanwhile, we also see Finn getting bullied.
Yes.
Yeah.
He gets bullied by just these asshole kids.
Like, okay, and there's more later in the film, but the fighting, especially the physical fighting in this film, like, I was like, oh my God, they're like legitimately beating each other. This isn't like rough and tumble in the baseball field. They're like kicking each other's asses.
Yeah. No, it's like at first, okay, this comes later, but there ends up at some point being like the fight with the kids and Gwen goes and hits a kid that's beating up her brother with a rock. And at first, when I first watched the movie, I was like, oh my God, he's going to die. And that's going to somehow lead to some of the scary.
Because he just has blood pouring out of his face.
Literally pouring.
Out of his face.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he doesn't, but like head wounds just bleed a lot, but still like.
Right.
No, the violence in this movie is something else. Like, I feel like it's not as like spooky in the way that you expect a lot of movies to be, but the violence and the fights and, you know, the scene we'll probably talk about next with Gwen and like her dad, like it's just, it's so uncomfortable to watch.
It's so uncomfortable.
Like it's so uncomfortable. It's scary in a very different, much worse way than a usual like spooky movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Finney wakes up because he hears Gwen screaming. And her dad is yelling and he runs in and her dad is like beating her with a belt because he's like, they came to my work, Gwen, what did you do? Like, because he's so mad. And we get to, you know, the heart of it. And he is upset because her mom used to have visions and used to
dream
and used to be able to have feelings about things. And he's like, you're not like her. You can't do this. You can't tell people about this. And he's really mad because the police came to his work over it.
Right.
And so, you know, he's like, you have to tell me you will never do this again. You won't dream anymore. You won't talk about it.
Your dreams are not real.
Yeah, dreams are not real.
Yeah.
Like,
he makes her repeat that
anymore. And it's just so sad because, like, you know, I think it's sad because he is so tormented about it too. Like, he isn't, I'm not saying like he's a horrible person for beating his child, but he is also terrified of what could happen because he's afraid for her, her being tortured over people finding out she has this ability. Like it's a very multi-layered emotional scene because everyone has a lot happening in it, you know?
Yeah.
And I do like that this movie kind of lets the characters grow. Cause at first, you know, you just hate the dad, right?
Oh,
and you're
so
like, what do you
much.
mean you're like, you're not your mom and how dare you say this and dreams aren't real. Later on, you kind of learn a little bit how
there's more going on.
Why that's so torturous for him, why he's so devastated about that.
Yeah.
Again, not the right way to handle it, but
Yeah.
I do like that they kind of like let the characters grow some depth as the movie goes.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I do think the studio or someone had asked the director or producer to not include that scene. But it was like they just kind of asked him. They didn't tell him to remove it, so they kept it in the movie. It was like, oh, you're not telling me to remove it, so they kept it in.
I think it's a horrible scene to watch. I hated it, but I think it's good that they kept it in.
So I've been waiting to drop this anecdote for the right time, and I feel this is it. So do either of you know who wrote this story of the Black Phone?
No.
I did look at it, but
the author.
If you figured it out, then yeah.
So I figured it out because his name is Joe Hill, and I know this because he wrote one of my favorite books. The book is called Heart-Shaped Box. It is a horror book, and oh my gosh, you guys, it's amazing. So like a few years ago, I started getting into like horror books, and Joe Hill was one of my first like experiences. Heart-Shaped Box was one of my first. It's intense. I was skeptical of like how a book could be scary.
Books can be really scary.
I love a scary book.
It was amazing. And then I found out who his father was, and I was like, oh my God, get out of here. Okay, Laura, you don't know, so can you guess who his father is? Just like someone famous in the horror world.
And okay,
maybe
I will
also
say,
wrote.
There was a movie that this movie reminded me a lot of, and then I was like, oh, that's why.
So if you're listening, can you think of someone that does horror, that writes horror really well?
And then maybe also had a book that turned into a movie about kids disappearing and a monster and maybe some
like
trauma.
Stephen King?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I know. Isn't that wild?
This is blowing my mind.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't know that
when I was done watching, I was like, this reminds me a lot of it.
Yes.
And apparently so it's based off a short story. In the short story, originally, the what do they call him? The grabber. He wasn't a magician. He was a clown. So that felt a bit too on the nose.
They made
why they changed it to a magician.
Can't just totally rip off your dad's story. Come on, get out of here.
But
if you're different,
if you're listening and you like either already love horror books but haven't, or you're thinking of it, check out Heart-Shaped Box. It's a very good book, in my opinion.
Okay.
I will check that out. I love a spooky book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's fascinating. That is a really fun fact.
I know. I know.
Yeah. No, because when I was looking it up, I saw something about, I saw that fun fact about how the grabber was originally a clown, but it felt too on the nose with Stephen King. And so I was like, they're talking a lot about Stephen King. Like, why is this coming up so much?
Well, because when I was even just looking up the like summary to read, I saw Joe Hill and I was like, wait, is that the same as the author? And it was.
Yeah.
So.
Well, wouldn't you know?
Yes.
Okay, so back to the scene that was all uncomfortable. We do need to talk about, so we've already kind of mentioned how much like Brianna loves Gwen. I am the same. Yvette, I'm assuming you're the same because she's just such a great character. She's so tough. She loves her brother so much. And like, she is not going to take shit from adults just because they're adults. That's why she like talked back to the cops. Even her dad, who you know that there's that history there and there's that abuse that happens. Even him, she does hold her own and try to fight back and try to be like, you need to knock this shit off. Because after he's like kind of like beat her, she's like, you got to knock this off. So or is it before? I forget, when he's like yelling or something, we see that he has set up on the table, on the counter, an orange beverage and vodka.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes and she grabs his vodka and is like, you touch me again and I'm dropping this.
Yeah.
Which is so ballsy. Like, what a brave, badass girl to just be like, I'm not going to take this from you forever. And like, you need to knock it off.
No, yeah. No,
and he says he won't, and
character.
she drops it anyways, which I love.
No, yeah, I love that she drops it.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, I love that she does.
Yeah.
Screw you.
Yeah. Well, and
Literally.
I think the actress that plays her originally looked like it wasn't going to work with her schedule, but they loved her so much that they're like, we will make it work.
Nice.
Like, you need to be in this. And I'm so happy they did that because she nailed it.
She's so good. Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be what we're sipping on. Bran?
Yes. So, okay, originally when we saw it, we were like, oh, it's orange juice. But then I was like, yeah, but we don't know that. And because of the era, it very well could be Tang. Because Tang, an orange flavored beverage, was very popular in the 70s.
Sure was.
So
we were like, well, we haven't done Tang. Is Tang still a thing?
We're going to go find it. I don't know how. I would assume it's still a thing.
Laura, is it still a thing?
Okay. It's coming up.
Give us research time.
Yes.
Okay.
You may buy Tang Mix still. You can get it at Walmart, BJ's, Dollar General. eBay. Could you imagine buying like
don't buy it on eBay, you guys.
Putting a bid in for the Tang.
Don't trust. It'll probably be from the 70s. Don't drink. Listeners, don't
go get
drink
yourself some
Tang
eBay Tang.
Okay.
Honestly, it kind of looks like Walmart might be the place to get it.
Yeah.
Walmart, if you want to sponsor us, go ahead.
I don't go to Walmart, so
hey, they can still give us money.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll go get my Tang.
Choosers.
There.
I know. I think I'm going to be a chooser and say.
I'll take their money. I'll take anyone's money.
No, thank you, Walmart. We're gonna, as our business executive.
Brianna does make all our business decisions.
That's true. That's true.
Anyways,
like a twist on a screwdriver. So
yes, so we're doing Tang and Vodka.
Tang and vodka.
Delicious.
Honestly, I'm excited to try it.
I think it might be good.
I am too. I am too.
Yeah, just like a sugary juice and vodka.
So yeah, there's just things happening. Finn is bullied, beat up. There's a big fight. We see the kid that went to help him initially the first time he was bullied in the bathroom. Right.
His name is Robin. Wait,
Robin.
What?
Didn't they call him Moose?
Did they call him Moose?
Wasn't that his nickname? The Moose? No. Maybe I made that up. All right. Anyways, his name is Robin.
Who's Robin?
Robin, Moose. They sound so similar.
No, right? Yeah, he defended him. It was cute. They're friends.
But then
the grabber gets him.
We see Robin walk in, and Robin's a tough kid, right? Like because the reason why he defends Finn against the bullies is because the bullies are scared of him because he's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah,
right.
But he gets grabbed.
Yeah,
and then we see like it is kind of cute. Gwen, like she sets up this little like prayer situation. Like she hides like Jesus-y things and crosses in her dollhouse.
Right.
And she has to hide from her dad that she's praying. And so she like prays to get dreams to like help the kids so that she can get visions that will help her actually like find the grabber.
Yeah, it feels like that was her ritual. Like she knew she had these dreams she couldn't control, but was trying to do like her little ritual to get it to come back.
Yes.
But then we see Finn. And he's walking along because it's Friday. So Gwen is not walking home with him because she's going to her sleepover. And we see the abracadabra van pull up.
And there's a guy and his hands are full of lots of things and he drops stuff.
Yeah, like just like trips and drops like
and
everything.
He's being very clumsy and funny and oh my gosh, could you help me?
It is kind of clown-like the way he behaves. Like he's like over the top, goofy.
It's theatrical,
fumbling.
Yeah, for sure.
And he asks if Finn could help. And as Finn is going to help him, because you can see that he's a little hesitant, just because like everyone's on alert. But he's like, okay. But as he's helping him, he looks in the van and he's like, are those black balloons? And you can tell. And the minute he realizes it, the grabber has a can of, I'm assuming like, I don't know.
Some sort of knockout.
Kind of like knockout gas.
Something, some sort of gas. And that's it. He sprays him out
in the face. Yeah.
Yeah. With using the balloons as cover, which I thought was so like interesting that they did that. And you don't even see him. You just see like a giant thing of balloons get thrown in the van.
So Ethan Hawke plays the grabber, and he is so creepy in this movie. I am a big fan of Ethan Hawke. I really like him in most movies, and even in this one I did. But I was very upset seeing him so creepy.
Oh, yeah. Because I think he's creepy part of what made him so creepy is that he wasn't all the time.
Exactly.
Like, he had this really, like, split persona where sometimes he was just, hey, I understand what you're going through. I'm here. It's okay. And then he was, like, really intense. But it was so fluid. Like, it wasn't jarring. It was a very, like, fluid character. So it was really off-putting because you never knew what was going on.
Those freaking masks too. Like they did such a good job with those because it changes throughout the movie. And like having like the top part separate from the bottom part and having like I loved the mask design for this.
It's one of those things where it's just instantly like a classic scary movie look. Like I can see people just, wearing it all the time because it is such a good horrifying mask.
Yes. Like, and then even just the more like low key one that's just like the face one down here.
That's the first one we see.
The one that I was like,
the one we see.
Yeah. The first one we see is like, it doesn't have a mouth or anything. It's just like a plain
wild
like bottom.
And what's interesting about masks is that normally it's like, it's going to hide the whole face. So that, you can't see them at all. Or if it's only half of the face, it's consistent, right? Because it's like maybe the person has like a distinct mark on their eye, so they hide that, or something like on their lower face. So they're always going to hide that with the mask. But what Grabber does is he has the two halves and it switches. Sometimes he wears only the top part. Sometimes he wears only the bottom part. Sometimes full. So it's really like, it's not really about hiding what he looks like.
It's something else.
Well, and like, anyone that watches horror knows if they don't care about concealing their identity, like it's over.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Like if they're not worried about that, they're not. You're not going to live. So the place that he's being kept in is obviously a basement. There's one window that has bars on it, and then just a mattress that's like kept like
on the floor.
Thank
like
you.
bolted.
Yeah, it's like bolted. Thank you. Bolted to the floor. Yes.
Yeah. So it's just like a concrete room, and then there's like a toilet room next to it.
And also in the room is one other thing.
A phone.
A black phone that is unplugged. It's not plugged into the wall.
And we can talk about those later.
Let's hear it.
But like immediately, why is the phone there? Like, this never got answered for me. Like, why wouldn't he have just taken the phone out of the room?
I mean, I think there's a little bit of mystery to this movie, and there's a little bit of stuff that stays kind of unresolved.
This one never was resolved for me.
Okay, like to me, there was, because I think Finney asks about the phone, where it's like, what, like, what is that? And the grabber says, "Oh, it hasn't rung in years."
Yeah.
So, like to me, that said, there's like there's something with the phone, maybe that's even why he's taking these kids. That means the phone has rung for him, or there's something there.
Right. He does say that one point, like it did ring for me once or something, but it hasn't in years.
Yeah.
Like, so I think he keeps it around because he knows there's something magical.
Yeah.
Because like it could have been that this basement used to be a basement where people like lived and hung out, kind of like my house. And so there was a phone there because people used it. But then when they kind of moved out of the basement, they tore everything out. But they left.
I just think like if I have a lair where I'm keeping people that I'm going to kill, I would just take out any wild cards. If it were me, like,
magic.
That would just be me personally.
I think that's just part of the magic, the like mystery of the movie is like I think there was some history there that we didn't get to learn about in this movie, but like clearly he knew that it had rung before. Like that to me it was like I don't know, there's a reason.
Yeah. But yeah, like the phone rings pretty quickly. But the Finn picks it up and I think it's just static the first time.
Yeah.
But then like that's when the grabber comes down and he's like, yeah, it doesn't work. Or it hasn't worked in years or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, and okay, one thing I have a question about is then it rings again, I think after the grabber leaves. And when Finn looks back at it this time, and maybe this was just kind of giving us a hint or something, it's almost like Finn is hallucinating that the phone is like breathing. It's like getting bigger. It's almost like looks like lungs or something, the way it moves. That happens a couple of times. What was that about? Was that just trying to show us that the phone was like a link to people? Or
I mean, I feel like there were a few moments in the film where like the camera was showing us how they were feeling in the moment. Like even when they showed how Gwen reacted when she learned her brother was missing, it was the cool scene where she was running to the house, but everything was staying still, but she was running.
Right.
I thought it was kind of like that. Like it was Finn that was out of like couldn't breathe because he was so afraid, but it was showing it through the phone.
Okay.
I think they did that a few different times.
Just like a creative way to show their own.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
they did that. They did that in a few different ways.
Okay, I can see that.
I like that theory. Sure. I thought it was just like he was being like called to it, like mesmerized by it, right? Like like something was telling him there's a connection to the phone. It's kind of how I read it.
I mean, I think you can. It's kind of open,
so
you can like interpret it.
But like as the movie goes on, so the grabber comes down a bunch of times, and like one time he comes down to give him food, another time he comes down like just to look at him, and he's like, I just want to look at you. I won't make you do anything you don't want to do. But it's he clearly does that later, makes him do stuff he doesn't want to do.
Well, yeah. And then he starts like testing him.
Yeah, he starts testing him.
We get these like, he does it a couple times where he comes down to bring him food and then he leaves the door unlocked and like just open. And then we get, later he asks him his name. He's like, what's your name? Like, it's just like not going according to plan. Normally I'd see it in the newspaper, but like, I'm not seeing it. What's your name? So he like has all these tests that he's trying to do for Finney.
Yep. Because then he called him out on the name thing. He was like, you lied. I thought you were different from the rest. You're just like the other, like, I don't know. I don't remember if he says naughty boys, but he's like, you're just like the rest of them. Like,
no, he does. He says,
and he says like, I was going to let you go. You know, I was really thinking about letting you go, but you lied.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's just setting him up to fail. And I think at this point, we see Finn just kind of like, he kind of like gives up. Like he kind of just lays on the mattress and he had started to see if he could kind of get out of the window. And then it looks like he's just going to be like, okay, I'm dead. Like I'll just lay here and not try anymore.
Well, and my question was at this point, and this is a dark question, because I know, Laura, you said earlier, like it's geared maybe towards kids younger.
Yeah, it just felt a little juvenile.
Really?
I feel like it feels a little juvenile. Like,
it is because it is from kids' perspective, and especially once the phone calls start happening. I know, but once the phone calls start happening, I was like, okay, this is cheesy. Like it got cheesy once the phone calls started. It felt a little
juvenile, like not like young kids.
But but like scary, like kind of like
teenagers.
It has the perspective of, but my dark question was, is the sexual abuse just implied that it happens? Because like the way that he said that to Finn, like, I just want to look at you. And then how after that happened, how like Finn just very dramatically, like just was laying on the bed. Like
did it happen, but we didn't see it?
Yeah. Because also like serial killers of this time, like there was a lot of this happening. Like that was always involved. So like, was that, to me, I thought like maybe that was part of it and it just was implied. I got that vibe.
I think just because of knowing historically kind of how this went down and the fact that he's only kidnapping young boys that all kind of have a similar vibe. Like not all of them, but like they're all like around the same age. I assumed it was happening. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Like, I didn't get that at all. Like, I mean, I was like, oh, it's scary that he's, you know, obviously in a basement. But I feel like there weren't any like signs of that happening in the movie.
Because I just don't know what the motive would be otherwise.
Other than watching. Well, I mean, I think there's just like these darker forces and things that he's dealing with.
I think it was, to me, kind of obvious that in whatever way, Grabber is getting off on torturing and hurting these boys. So whether it be just a release of tension that's non-sexual or that is sexual, it's definitely obviously using them and their
because he kills them eventually, right?
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing, right? It's and we do learn that later. It's like what he wants is for him to be naughty.
Right.
And when he leaves the door open to go upstairs so he can hurt him. And he doesn't do that. And I think, and that's when we get one of the last phone calls, which is one of the boys calling him to be like, you have to let him go to the next step. Otherwise you're in danger now. So I think that was part of the movie, was the fact that he wasn't getting what he wanted out of him. What he wants is for him to break the rules so he can get mad at him for going upstairs and hurt him. But I think what we're seeing is that he's not going for it. So he's like trying to wait for him to like be the naughty boy so he can like react, but he's not getting it.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally. But it's very messed up, his motivations.
Oh, maybe. I mean, yeah.
So so what ends up happening is, we get all these scenes of like, every once in a while, Grabber's coming down. Every once in a while, Gwen is getting dreams, and every once in a while the phone is ringing, but then it starts to be someone on the other line.
Yes.
So I really like it because it's just this repeated pattern where it kind of like builds up a story. Like it keeps happening. We see her dream, we see him coming down, we see the call, we see blah, 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 blah. But it kind of ends up building to a solution.
Yes. Yes. Because every call is a kid, and every kid has basically different advice. Where it's like, oh, I had started digging through here. I hid a cable here. I did like whatever. And so they're just trying to kind of guide him. At one point, even calling him to be like, hey, he fell asleep. Yep. Door is still open. Yep. Like, this is your chance. So he does have,
We learn, like, I really liked the first phone call because like we learn like that these are all his prior victims. The first person that calls, he can't remember his name. So it's obvious like he's dead, because he's like, that's the first thing you lose. Like, I don't remember my name. But he does sort of have some like parts of his old life still in his brain, because he keeps saying to Finn, your arm is mint, which was what Bruce said to Finn right before, at the baseball game, right before he got grabbed. So we know that it's Bruce, and Finn knows that it's Bruce, but like Bruce doesn't even remember who he is.
Yeah.
But then they'll all say things like either your arm is mint, or like I used this cable, or there's a freezer, or oh, there's like there's a weak part in the floor that you can dig and then you can cover it up. But what's really kind of cool is, so like Finn does all these things from each kid that calls him, but they all go wrong, right? So first he's trying to like see if he can dig out through the floor, and it's like, nope, goes nowhere. So now he's just got a giant hole in the floor. But it's smart because he like flushes the dirt so that
I know.
And then he's like, oh, I'll use the cable to try to climb up and out of the window. But then the grate from the window breaks. So he just like chucks it in the hole. And then what else?
Yeah, it's just like, it's like that. Like all the things just go wrong. So he puts them in a different way.
Right. Yeah. So they all
to cover it.
They're going to be these things that are supposed to help him, but none of them work.
Right.
Until the very end.
Yes.
And that's when like Gwen is working with the police now.
Yeah.
Yes, because she started having the dreams again, and she has one that like is not very clear to her, where she's like, literally, why even give me this dream? This is useless. This doesn't tell me anything. And then at one point she gets like a much more clear one of, I'm forgetting the kid's name, but it was the one that was really angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because for that one, she almost sees like his life, like she's like with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the day. Like she's just like sitting like a passenger in like this last day of his. Yeah. And we realize that what he's saying is also what he's saying to Finney. So he's like he's reliving that day. Gwen is also present and living through it, and that's what Finney is hearing. So we get this kind of cool little like connection.
Yeah, like it's all like very spooky comes together. And sometimes when the boys are calling too, we end up then seeing them.
Oh,
seeing them as ghosts, which the first one I saw like made me jump.
The first one made me jump, and he was literally just standing there.
Yeah, like he was just standing there, but it was scary because they're like covered in blood. They're obviously dead. So.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, Gwen sees the house. Like she realizes like this is a house that she has to go find. So she goes and like rides her bike in the rain, just trying to find this house, and she finds it from the outside because the ghost children like stop her in her tracks.
Yes. They were like standing in the road.
Yes. Which I thought was so fun. So she calls the police in order to get them to go check out the house. And that's what's happening with Gwen, right? At the same time, we have Finney trying to do his kind of final, like we know that he is in trouble. The kids have kind of told him like, okay, you're in danger. Like it's going to happen tonight. And we see the grabber is going to the store to get like supplies.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
So all of this is kind of happening together. And then the one character we haven't talked about is that the grabber has a brother who is staying over at his house, who is, I don't know, just has a bunch of free time and is trying to like crack the case while he's there.
Yeah, and like even the police come to like because they're canvassing the neighborhood. They're trying to find out like what people know or if if they're the suspects or whatever. And like they see that he's got like like the classic like detectives with all the pictures on the wall and the maps.
Yeah, the rolling board with the maps and
he's like he's getting closer and he's like, if I've kind of triangulated the way that the person needs where they're keeping the bodies or the people or whatever. He's like, it's really, really close to me.
Yeah, no, like they'd have to be like right here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we meet the brother. And apparently the brother I don't think was originally, like that whole character wasn't really in the movie, but they realized that they needed to give the audience a break. So that's why they ended up kind of adding, I think that scene and like a little bit more of this character is just to give the audience like a little bit of a break, which honestly I think it worked. I think I appreciated like a tiny kind of like, okay, this guy's just like silly and kind of funny, a little break from this movie.
And I liked it too that like there were all these people that kind of knew what was happening, but none of them on their own could get there. Like none of them on their own could find them. It's kind of like with all of Finn's hints from all of the previous Dead Boys, none of them on their own worked. It wasn't until they all come together. This movie's really about teamwork.
Yeah. Teamwork. So the first one to really realize it is the brother. You see him have this kind of moment where he's staring at the map and realizing like, man, it'd have to be like right here, really, that it's happening. And he has this kind of moment of realizing he had never really been to the basement. And so we see him kind of come to the realization of he needs to go check the basement.
Yeah.
So he goes down and right as like Finney's trying to get ready. So Finney's kind of ready for this final fight.
Yeah.
Walk in. It's the brother. And the brother's like, oh my God, I knew it. I knew he was hiding something. he's like, do you want to hear how I found you? Like, he's just like like, he's like, oh my God, I did it. I solved this. Do you want to hear how I solved it? Like, having his little monologue. But the grabber.
We just see him coming behind him down the stairs.
Mm. Oh,
and it's like a axe, I think, right?
Giant axe, immediate axe to the head.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah. Immediate
so brutal.
And he's like, look what you made me do.
I know.
You made me kill my brother.
Like, wow, gaslight much.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Victim blame.
But before that had happened, like you were saying, the ghost had said, like Finn, you got to do this tonight. Mm-hmm. Or like it's happening tonight. And so they had prepared him by like the one guy that had been like his protector from the bully was like teaching him to fight. He's like teaching him these moves.
Yes.
He's like,
you got to put dirt in the phone.
Yeah, to make it heavy. And then that's what you're going to use to like, you know, hit him. Yeah, so there had been like other things that they had done to like try to prepare him, but so and like
he's the wire. He like took the wire and like put it on like on the ground so he could like pull it and create a little like trip kind of moment. Mm-hmm.
And it's so cool because then all of the things that hadn't worked all along all work in conjunction to make the perfect, it's almost kind of like Home Alone style, like booby trap for the grabber, like all these things that will allow Finn to kind of like overtake.
Yes.
So yeah, like he like ends up tripping and falling, and then like he falls into the hole that Finn had dug that didn't work for him to get out.
And the grate was in the hole, so he just like snaps his ankle as soon as he goes in.
Yeah, the grate from the window was there, so perfectly was made it so that he couldn't then get out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got the technique that the one boy had taught him with like, it's like, you know, go in and then out and then in, punch, in and then out and then in, punch, which normally would be like, that's a stupid waste of energy.
But, you know.
But it worked perfectly because the way that the grabber was then trying to get back at Finn, the way he had been taught was the perfect way to avoid getting hurt himself and just to keep punching the grabber.
Yep. So they're in a fight. And now the police have been called. I think they the whole time kind of believed Gwen. I think they kind of believed the dreams. Like they really have believed her. And
which
so
is
when
not
she
normal.
called, no, right? So when she called, they were kind of like, okay, this one, let's go check. So they go in and they go into an empty house. And so as like the audience, we're seeing this and it's like, oh, what? Like what's happening? So they are walking through a completely empty house. Like they do a full sweep and there's just like nothing there. They're about to leave when one of the cops says like, oh, there's a basement.
Yeah.
So and then you're like, oh, something blocking. So now you're like, okay, well, maybe like at least what I was doing is I was like, maybe somehow he cleared the house. I don't know. Like I was trying to figure out how this could still work. Like
because the grabber made a big deal in the beginning of saying that like the basement was soundproofed. Because he was like, you can scream all you want, it's soundproofed.
Yeah. So once they find the basement, you're like, okay, here it is. Like they're going to find it. They open the basement door, walk downstairs, and it's just these like mounds that you can see were buried. And then there's a new hole that had been dug and not filled yet. And so they realize, oh, this is where he disposes of the bodies.
Yep. And then they say they're like, oh, he must kill them in a different place, a different location. And then you're like, your heart sinks because this is the house that Gwen saw. Yes. So you're like, but she has this ability to know what's going on. And this is the house she saw.
And the ghosts brought her here. Like, what? So the cops are dealing with that. Finney's having the grabber's in the hole. He's hitting him with the phone.
He ends up strangling him. He strangles him with the cord. And then
before he dies, though, the phone rings.
Yes.
And Finney's like, it's for you.
And so then you just hear all the little ghosties, the little ghosty boys talking shit to the grabber about like, this is what you deserve and, screw you and all that stuff.
And then there was a moment when he's doing all of this, he takes his mask off. Finney takes his mask off. So now he has no mask, no top or bottom.
And he's terrified.
He like freaks out.
Yep.
Like he's like, oh, like, like you realize like there's definitely something to this mask. So he like fully freaks out. But he strangles him and then he falls into the hole.
Yeah.
We see the grabber just go like all the way into the hole.
Yep.
And then we get the final thing that he had prepared. The freezer is full of meat.
Oh, yeah, because I don't think we talked about the freezer.
Yeah.
One of the failed ones too was that the really tough boy was like, oh, there's a wall, but if you like, it's like not a full wall. Like if you kind of dig through it, behind it is this like freezer. And I was going to use that to get out.
Go to the outlet 2 feet up. That's where you want to, break through.
This is kind of like the last thing that had happened, because this kind of like shows Finn kind of giving up again, because he digs through, he gets to the freezer and it's full of meat and it's locked from the outside. So he can't get out. And then he just, sits down and cries because he's like, it's over. Like everything I've tried just keeps not working. He gives up.
Yeah.
Until then the last scene. Yeah.
But luckily the freezer was full of meat. And so the last kind of obstacle he has to get through is that the grabber has a dog, like a guard dog. So he just tosses him some of the meat.
This is a scary looking dog.
Oh, yeah.
Like a Doberman, I think.
Yeah, it was what it is. Dog.
Yeah.
And so he walks upstairs. Or I forget if I think he has to put in the
there's a
lock. So he remembers the code from the last time he tried to get out and gets out. And then you just get this like moment of him like walking out, and Gwen is the first one to see him.
Yeah.
Because this house was directly across the street from the house where the bodies were buried. So Gwen, who had been sad, was like sitting facing away from the house that was the wrong house. So she's able to see him kind of walking out of where he was being kept.
Yeah.
And it's so sweet. She just runs to him and like, oh, it was actually a nice happy ending.
No, and we see them with the dad at the end, and the dad's like, I'm so sorry. It's a really sweet moment. Yeah.
No, we get like an actually kind of happy ending with this one.
Because one of the things that we kind of happened at some point in the middle of this is that the dad had a little bit more of a heart-to-heart with Gwen, after Finn had been gone, saying, I'm sorry, I'm so hard on you. Your mom heard voices like you, but they, eventually told her to do bad things and hurt herself.
Yeah.
So, like there's this family, that's why the mom's not there. There's this family trauma. And
like he's scared for Gwen.
Scared for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they even have kind of a moment where like she, having had these dreams of being like, what if they could help though? It's like, so like, hear me out. What if they are real and they can help me find Finney? And then you get this moment of them just like driving through the neighborhood. So you get that like he believed her and was trying to help, like listen to her dreams. So no, you got some like good development here.
Good development. I have to say too, like, especially for a horror movie, and I'm such a cheeseball, but that last scene where like she runs up to him, I literally got chills and goosebumps all over because I was like so happy. So stupid.
We very rarely get a happy ending.
Right. I know. Yeah. I know.
And then we get like a final scene of Finney just like back at school and going into, I think it was like his science class, and he sits next to his crush, just like with this newfound confidence. Like it's great.
Cause she says something and she calls him Finney.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, call me Finn.
Call me Finn.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause at the beginning of the movie, he's kind of like this weak little kid.
Right.
And even his bully protector had been like, you got to start protecting yourself on your own. And then he was able to find that during this ordeal.
So cute.
Yep. That's it. That's
roll credits.
Yep. And like, honestly, I watched the full credits because like I was fully prepared to see him like come out of the hole or the phone to ring or like I'm kind of surprised there wasn't
I know.
a final, like, I don't know, Easter egg of something. Right. I was like fully expecting it. We got just a true happy ending.
I know.
That's it.
I know. I'll be curious to see how the new one is.
Well, because
where it goes.
The new one seems to have the same people. Like at least the boy is the same. I've tried not to watch a full preview, but just from partial little clips I've seen, like it's the same boy, and I'm guessing Ethan Hawke. Yeah. I just saw the same mask. I don't know.
I mean, they left the door open for there to be this like magic mystery. Like there's something happening that we didn't get a full explanation for. So I could definitely see him coming back and it being, you know, hopefully they go a little bit more into that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like there's a lot of psychology happening in this movie, you know?
Gosh, yeah.
A lot of brain thinking happening. So I feel like you could go a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So before we get into it, just remember, she's not a real doctor, but that's okay because it's just a movie. It's just make believe.
It's just a movie, everyone.
Don't take it so seriously.
Yeah.
So where are you going to take us, Laura?
You know, today I thought we would talk about trauma and resilience.
You know,
that's
let's go there.
Let's go there.
Like a good.
Because I feel like this whole family, Finn, Gwen, and Dad, they all experienced a base trauma with the mom. So the mom had mental health issues in addition to her like ESP. Like in addition to her being able to know things, it tortured her. It caused a lot of trauma. So the dad and then the kids went down two paths. The dad did some unhealthy coping with a lot of denial, a lot of anger, and a lot of self-medication with the alcohol. So it ended up causing a lot more pain for him. Whereas Finn and Gwen, instead of doing that, they formed resilience with each other. So before we've talked about like trauma bonding, and that is a thing that we've talked about a decent amount on the pod, but when I looked up the definition of trauma bonding, I actually think it's used in not always the same consistent way. So typically trauma bonding, as classically defined, is like if you have a bond with your captor, almost more like Stockholm syndrome.
Oh.
So really, but a lot of times when people say trauma bonded, they really mean more like hardship bonded. So that you've gone through a hardship together and that has formed a bond. That's, I think, really what people mean when they say trauma bonding.
Yeah.
But that would explain the really close relationship that Finn and Gwen have and just how they're so connected. And it also kind of goes back to the attachment theories we've talked about before, where like normally that's something that happens with parents. You form this healthy attachment with parents, but Gwen and Finn didn't have that. So they formed this, like in this absence of healthy, loving parent relationships, Gwen and Finn formed this with each other. That attachment theory just kind of talks about the secure connection you have with someone. And it's where you always go back to them when there's like a problem situation to feel safe. So I feel like that's why they kind of stayed connected even through this trauma of Finn being kidnapped. Okay, but then I want to talk about another term that people use kind of in different ways, learned helplessness, which I'm not sure if we've talked about that on the pod yet.
I don't know
that we have.
Yeah. So I feel like I got a bit of a vibe of learned helplessness from Finn, not only once he was captured and a captive, but also just in general in life, like when he would kind of like let himself be bullied.
Yeah.
Not that it's ever the bully.
The bully.
The person being bullied, it's not their fault, but he kind of just would like lay down and take it instead of fighting back like his sister would fight back. His friends would fight back. He kind of was just like, yeah, I'm just going to like accept that these bullies are going to kick my ass and not do anything about it.
Yeah.
So the concept of learned helplessness, this is after repeated aversive situations, and feeling like you can't escape a situation, you stop trying, even when escape becomes possible. So in humans, this idea has kind of morphed in psychology into like relating to things like depression and mental health struggles. So it's more like this belief in your capacity to do anything. So a lot of times, like psychologists and people will refer to it where, like, say for an example, you've had a tough home life and your parents your whole life have made you feel like you can't do anything. You're not good enough to do anything. You're not capable. You can't be independent on your own. So eventually you just stop trying. Like you don't try to defend yourself. You don't try to become independent, get a job, do successful in school, because you've just learned that people are just going to do stuff for you because you're not capable of doing it yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like how people use it now. But how I want to bring it back to Finn is actually this initial idea that came from Martin Seligman. Awful psychologist. No, he's not an awful psychologist, but an awful human.
Shots fired.
Well, you're going to agree with me.
I'm excited.
So he kind of like coined this term, or like was first the one to like kind of use this idea of learned helplessness. And how he came about this theory was in an experiment that used dogs. And this is why he's a horrible person.
No.
So I know.
I already hate it.
I know you do.
Mm-hmm.
You do hate it.
No.
So he had dogs, and there's this control group, and then there's an experimental group, and then kind of the group that nothing happened to. So the one experimental group is he put these dogs in a harness that gave them shocks for which they could not escape.
Nice.
And the shocks were like labeled as like moderate. So the dogs are probably friggin' miserable. Like they're in this harness, and they even if they try anything, they learn quickly there's nothing they can do to control the shocks. No behavior, no place they go. They can't control the shocks. Then there's another group of dogs where they are given shocks, but they do have the ability to escape, and they know that. Like they learn quickly, like, okay, I get shocked here, but I walk over here, and they can escape it. And then there's a group of dogs that receives no shocks whatsoever. But then they move all the dogs, like separately, but like they move them into this 2-compartment box. One side of the box has shocks. Rhymes. Okay. And one side of the box is shock free. And there's just a very low fence that the dogs would just have to walk over to get to the shock free side. So what was interesting for this is that the dogs that had never been shocked and the dogs that had been shocked but then were able to escape those shocks, they all walked over the fence to get to the shock-free, safe side of the box.
Right.
The dogs that had been shocked in the harness and could not escape, they, even though they were now in a new situation, they weren't in the harness, they were in this box and, can see the two sides. They were put initially in the shocking side of the box. They just laid down. They just laid down and took it. They didn't even, they never tried. They never even attempted any sort of behavior that might teach them, oh, wait, if you come over here, you won't get shocked anymore. They did never even try.
Sad.
Oh,
which
poor
is
buddies.
Heartbreaking. And this is why I hate this man. But it is interesting, the theory that then comes from that.
Right.
Because I feel like initially this is what Finn is showing the signs of. I think that he was probably primed for it from the abuse from his dad, that he really could not escape, and then the bullies that he really was not able to escape or was just not escaping. And then he's given all of these signals from the grabber that escape is impossible. And so initially it seems like he just lays down on the mattress and is like, all right, well, I'm dying. I can't get out.
Yeah.
It wasn't until he got those little signs of hope from the ghosts that then he was like, okay, now I can try. and now I can get my strength back. Oh, and then also, yeah, the grabber just, he then further creates this learned helplessness because of those experiments that he set up. Like the whole naughty boy thing, because it shows like, look, Finn, if you try anything, it'll make it worse for you. If you just comply with everything I do, it's better. So he almost like is reinforcing that, even though deep down the grabber wants him to try so that he can hurt him.
Right.
But he actually he's like reinforcing that learned helplessness.
Yeah. No, he is.
It's really kind of just like interesting how that just perception of what your future might be can really change your behavior or your reality to make it worse for you in the moment.
Yeah.
Even if escape is possible. If you believe it's not, then it's not.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about the victim mentality. But let's talk about we're also going to give a diagnosis for Grabber.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh, we gotta.
So, I mean, I think he's a pretty clear-cut case of antisocial personality disorder.
I believe that.
And we've talked about that one before, so I won't go like too far into that one. But let's get a little theoretical about why I think he is a little bit the way that he is. So again, this is a theory. I think that the grabber also came from a place of trauma in his background. He also, not everyone who goes through trauma will become this psychopath.
Yes.
But I believe that possibly in his childhood, and it clearly is different for the brother, so that's, a whole other topic. But I believe that at some point he was not able to feel his emotions. I think that maybe any sign or any expression of emotion that Grabber had were maybe punished or not allowed. So I think that this led to this need to have these external ways to display his emotions. So his mask is the only way I think that the grabber can feel. Because I think he tries to distance himself from the emotions. And so he puts on a mask to kind of show like, oh, today I feel really mad. Today I feel kind of happy. Today I feel calm. I feel like the only way he can show emotions is through the mask, because otherwise he just buries them deep down. He won't let himself feel them until the boys become the naughty boy enough to the point where he can explode all of his rage and emotions.
Interesting.
So he like lets them bubble up. He can only distantly express them with the mask until they explode. So that's like my theory for what goes on with the grabber and why why the masks are there and why they're in that way. Because it's not so much about concealing. It's about finally being able to like distantly have an emotion. And I think that's also why he was so terrified when the mask came off completely at the end, because that was very an emotion-filled moment. And he was raw. Like he didn't have that protection of the mask being the thing with the emotion. He had to be the one with the emotion, which is like the scariest thing for him in the world.
Interesting.
So that's why it was so traumatic for him.
I like that.
Yeah.
So there's my psych.
Well, there you go.
So I guess, non-psyched based, do you guys think like what's going on with him? Like what is the magic? What is the phone?
I know.
Like, is he even a person?
I know.
Like, do you guys have any theories on what he is?
That's what I was trying to figure out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what the whole thing is.
I mean, obviously he has a brother, so he's a person, but like, I don't know, was he cursed? Is the phone?
Yeah. Like, what is this?
Like, they leave a lot unanswered. So I like your psych approach, but now I'm like, let's go. What's the mystical?
I know.
See, I kind of felt like the phone was more about Finn than the grabber.
But it was his phone.
I know. That's true. But yeah,
I guess maybe the grabber was like one of the boys before. Like maybe there was a predecessor. Like maybe he's a descendant. Like maybe like he didn't survive. Like, but he lived, but he turned into another one of them instead. You know, like if Finn became another predator, like maybe, and that's why he's like, I used to hear the phone, because maybe he used to be a boy that got abducted, and instead of escaping or dying, he lived, but he just turned into another.
And that's why he needs the mask, because that was the trauma he went through.
Maybe that's it.
Oh, and like,
okay. I like this.
Maybe the original abuser was not like a masked man or anything. It was just somebody who like abducted boys.
Right.
And the grabber was one. We solved it.
I think now we have to watch the sequel, and if they do explain it, I want to know if we got it right.
Yes.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
Spooky Sips podcast.
Brilliant idea. Yeah.
Send your royalties here.
Yes. Okay, let me see if I have any more fun facts.
Yeah, I want to go see the new one.
This makes me want to go see it. Like, again, I think this is one where it's like, as we've talked about it, I just like it more.
Right.
Okay, one thing I thought was kind of fun is it wasn't filmed in Denver, which, like, I wasn't surprised. When I saw it, I was like, that doesn't look like Denver to me. Like, that, it didn't even look like the outskirts
when they
of
said
Colorado.
It was Denver, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm curious if, like, other people caught that, but to me, it did not look like Denver.
I didn't even know it was that until the end of the movie when they said that.
Yeah. No, so it was filmed in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Different.
Why set it in Denver, I wonder then? Like,
then just let it be North Carolina. Like,
right? Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know if the short story took place there and they were trying to keep it for that reason, but no, I was curious if you guys noticed it too. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's not Denver. Let's see. Oh, the movie that Finney's like watching where he like gets scared, with the like blood tub and like the hand pops out. That is a real movie.
I know about that one.
Oh, okay. So it's called The Tingler. It came out in 1959. Have you watched it?
I did in high school, and I don't really remember that much about it. I think it was just on in the background, but I remember that scene. So when I saw it, I forgot what it was called, but yes, I saw it in high school.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm adding it to our list.
Honestly, we might need to watch it. So the producer, Scott Derrickson, he had a memory of seeing that as a kid and it like freaking him out.
Yeah,
and honestly, that's
wild.
Exactly the kind of thing that would freak you out as a kid.
It's wild.
Yes. Okay. Oh, maybe we should watch it.
No, I put it on the list.
Apparently after like they would record a scene, Ethan Hawke would always ask like the actor that played Finney, like, okay, like, are you good? Give him like a little nuggie to be like, okay, keeping it.
That's cute.
Because that'd be weird to play such a creepy, dark character, like, ooh.
With children, right?
With kids.
Yeah, no, for sure. Especially kids. Like, it's like, I feel like it's like, no, it should be clear. This is all pretend. You good? Checking in. Okay, I feel like we talked about, maybe it was even our last episode that movie got like moved, but this movie was delayed because of how positive the reception was. So originally they were going to release it in January, so give it like a winter release, but after really positive reviews and like tests, they were like, no, this needs to come out in the summer. Like, we want to give it like a bigger kind of audience. So they delayed it actually because it was so positive to give it kind of a bigger,
because that's like exactly the opposite of Weapons was the one that. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because that came out earlier to try to just like
this
get
has
it
like
out.
A summer vibe.
So
I
does.
get that.
No, honestly, like, I mean, again, we start with a baseball game. Like, I feel like that gave summer. Like this is a it's much better suited for the summer. Okay, and then the movie has a few references to Sinister. So it is the same person that did Sinister. We also get Ethan Hawke back.
Right.
So obviously they had to do some callbacks to it. So I'll end my fun facts with some of the Sinister references. One is that the grabber using the black balloons, which I did not remember this, but apparently there is like a painting in one of the rooms in Sinister with someone holding like black balloons. So that was kind of a small callback. I even tried looking it up and I couldn't find the
I was going to say, I don't remember that.
It's in there somewhere. If someone wants to slowly go through the frames, I think you can find a painting of someone holding black balloons. The other, a bit more obvious one is the line in the basement.
Yes.
You get that orange line.
That's what I thought
like it's bleeding down, was clearly a call to Sinister. Like,
because, in the title. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then another one, and honestly, there might be more, but the last one I have is that the like grab and go in the movie is called Ellison, which is Ethan Hawke's character's name in Sinister.
Nice. Oh, okay.
So they tried to throw in some little,
I like that,
little Easter eggs,
little tributes
for people.
I like that. That's fun.
Yeah, we'll just keep it to a few fun facts.
Yeah, I think we need to go see the new one.
Yeah,
especially because like I like seeing it once I've seen the old one, because like I always forget, so it's like I like being able to go see them close to each other.
Yes.
No, I always forget what happened.
I know, right? Okay, so just based off our conversation, I think I'm gonna have some controversial opinions, but that's okay.
Ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about where we're at with our feelings. Because here on Spooky Sips, we don't give stars, we give sips. So, out of 5 sips, how many did you give this movie?
Okay, I think I have mine, so I can start. So I didn't dislike this movie, but I also didn't love this movie. And I think as soon as it ended, to me, it was kind of a blend of it and Sinister. Like, I think it's like if you took those two movies and it had a baby, it would be this movie. And it's like, it's a good movie. I did enjoy it. And I kind of do want to go see the sequel now. But I think to me, it's like a squarely, like, in the middle, like, I think a 3 out of 5. Mm-hmm. It's like, it wasn't like the best thing. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it and I like talking about it. But I think for me, it was just like a solid 3.
Mm-hmm. I feel very similar. I felt like, how before when I was saying, again, it's not like this is a kid's movie, and I want to make sure that that's clear.
Please don't take your kids to
but
this.
The vibe of it was very juvenile.
Yes.
Like kind of in the way that it was, like with like the kids' relationships and friendships, but not done as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I feel like I was a little bit too mature for this.
Yeah.
To like, but I also didn't dislike it. I respect, I really did kind of like how it was like a puzzle where like all the little pieces got built up, and you're thinking that they're not going to go anywhere. And then they have to all come together in order to magically work. I kind of liked that part.
Yeah. No, it paid off.
It did. Yeah. So I liked that part, but I do just feel like it was done in a little bit kind of like of an immature-ish sort of way. So I was originally thinking 3, but I feel like for a 3, it would have to be a little better actually. So I'm going to go, this is really going to bother my husband. I'm going to go with 2.8.
No, honestly, to me, I was like, am I going to, like, is it a 3? But I don't know. I think our conversation made me bump it up to a 3. Like, it's I was wondering whether to give it a 3 or not. I think 2.8 is good.
Mine's not that controversial then. But I mean, if you've been around, I hate it. I hate it. I hate that movie. But I think for me, what it was, hang on just one second. I had to yell at my husband to shut the door.
You're making us wait for your review.
Yes. I think what it is for me is that I really liked the movie until the phone part came in. And then I didn't like it anymore. Like, I actually did not like the mystery of the boys telling all the clues. I was like, okay, wow, it's like a paint by the number I didn't like that part. I thought it was cheesy. I thought their little voices
It was
were
a bit cheesy. Yeah.
You know, they're like, you can do it, Fanny. I was like, oh my God. Like, so for me, the movie was actually, I was really liking it until that part.
Yeah.
Like
I like pretty early.
I know, but I liked the creepy vibes. I loved the character of the grabber. I loved the family dynamic of the siblings and the dad. Like I loved all of it until that. And I thought that could have been done. That could have been kept so much scarier. And then even the brother, I didn't like the silly character. Like I would have loved if they had made this so much darker. Like if it had been a darker movie, I would have liked it more.
For it being about like a lot of child murders, it wasn't very dark. Right. That sounds so weird.
And I get that, like, and that's why I agree that I think it was kept more juvenile. And for that, if that's what you're going for, I actually think it could be a good movie. Like if you like that, I can see how like it actually was, it was nice. I think it was nice how it ended. You did get a happy ending. It's just my personal preference. So I think for me, I'm giving it a 2.5. Because
okay, that's higher than I thought you were going to give it.
Yes, again, it wasn't bad. Like the character development was good, the filming, the storyline, short of the cheesiness, was good. It was just not my personal, favorite.
It's fair.
You know,
it's very fair.
No, that's higher than I thought you were going to give it based on your description, honestly.
2.5, because I really did like a lot of it. Well, and it's so funny because I will say, like, I was zoning out a little bit while watching it towards the end. And so, like, all of a sudden, I looked up because I have a note. I was looking at my notes and I just wrote, what did I miss? Who is the guy snorting coke? Because I must have been zoning out for a while because all of a sudden I look up and there's like a guy in a Hawaiian shirt snorting coke. And I was like, what did I miss?
That's the brother.
I
completely missed that part.
Stopped paying attention. So that's where I was at. Good times. All right. Well, sippers, if you know us, you know that Halloween is the most important holiday to us.
It's the biggest day of the year.
It's the biggest day of the year, you guys. It's the biggest month of the year. Halloween is not a day. It's a season. Yeah. So we always do a big costume. This year, we're going to give you hints. Okay? So we're not going to tell you straight out. We're going to give you little hints. And what we're watching next time is a hint for you. Okay? So we will be watching. Oh, wait, what year is it? 1932?
32.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're going way back to the 30s, which is almost 100 years ago, which is wild. We will be watching the movie Freaks from 1932. So if you haven't watched it, which I bet I can guess that you haven't, get watching, get sipping, and we'll see you next time on Spooky Sips.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Spooky Sips. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening. To stay up to date on all the spooky things we're up to, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at spookysips_podcast. And if you want to help support the podcast, consider buying us a coffee, or really a cocktail. We are completely independent, so every little bit goes a long way to keeping our podcast running and improving. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.